Toji didn't just have cursed tools, he had an entire weapons cache that made him the most feared assassin in the Jujutsu world. The centerpiece? The inverted Spear of Heaven. That Q-shaped dagger that looks like it was designed specifically to ruin someone's day. What makes this weapon absolutely terrifying is its ability to nullify any curse technique on contact. Not weaken, not counter. Completely shut down. When Toji stabbed Gojo through the throat with it, Infinity just stopped working. The spear contains this rare, foreign cursed energy that disrupts the flow of any technique it touches. That's why Gojo either destroyed it or locked it away after their fight. Nobody should have access to a technique killer that powerful. Then there's the Split Soul Katana, worth about 500 million yen, which tells you everything about its value. This curved blade with the fur-wrapped guard doesn't cut your body, it cuts your soul directly. Physical durability means nothing when the weapon bypasses it entirely and strikes at your essence. Only people who can see souls like Toji and later Maki can use it to its full potential. After Mai's death, she created an exact replica for her sister using construction, and Maki used it to slice through the entire Zenin clan. Now, here's where Toji gets interesting. Playful Cloud. This 3-section staff connected by chains is special grade, but it has zero curse technique. Instead, it draws on the user's raw physical power to fortify itself. For someone with heavenly restriction like Toji, who has immense strength but no cursed energy, it's the perfect weapon. The unpredictable angles from those chain connections made it deadly in his hands, and it's currently with Maki, bringing the weapon full circle. The chain of 1,000 miles is pure tactical genius. As long as one end stays hidden, this chain has virtually infinite length. Toji hid one end inside his inventory curse's mouth, giving him near unlimited range for his attacks. Imagine fighting someone and suddenly their short-range weapon becomes a long-distance threat that can strike from any angle. Speaking of that inventory curse, technically not a curse tool, but it functions like one. This worm-like curse wraps around Toji's torso and stores his entire arsenal in its mouth. Infinite dimensional storage means he could pull out any weapon instantly during combat. After Toji died, the curse crawled to Geto saying, "Mother, hug me," looking for a new master. Geto absorbed it and used it to store his own tools. What made Toji's arsenal so devastating wasn't just individual weapon power, it was the combination. He could nullify techniques with the inverted spear, cut souls with the katana, overwhelm with raw force using Playful Cloud, and extend his range infinitely with the chain. Plus, the inventory curse meant he could switch between weapons mid-fight, keeping opponents guessing. The man turned weapon mastery into an art form. He took tools designed for sorcerers and proved that someone with zero cursed energy could use them better than anyone else. His fights against Gojo and Geto weren't just battles, they were masterclasses in how the right weapons in skilled hands can overcome seemingly impossible odds. That arsenal didn't just make Toji dangerous, it redefined what was possible in the Jujutsu world, and set the standard for every cursed tool user who came after him. The next generation inherited Toji's legacy, but they had to forge their own paths with different tools and approaches. Maki Zenin's journey perfectly shows this evolution. She started with cursed glasses just to see spirits, something most sorcerers take for granted. Those glasses were infused with cursed energy to help people without sufficient power perceive curses. Maki went through multiple pairs as they kept getting broken during fights, against Geto in JJK 0, after Shibuya, and during her confrontation with her father. After completing her heavenly restriction following Mai's death, she could sense cursed spirits like Toji without needing them, but she still wears them. Then came Dragonbone, Juzo Kumiya's masterpiece. This single-bladed sword with 3 holes designed into it represents the pinnacle of cursed tool craftsmanship. What makes Dragonbone special is its ability to store and release both kinetic force and cursed energy. The weapon absorbs cursed energy, enhances itself, then unleashes stored energy in devastating attacks with unparalleled cutting power. For someone like Maki, who can't enhance weapons with her own cursed energy, it's perfect. Master Tengen revealed Juzo's workshop location to Maki, and with both Dragonbone and Mai's gifted sword, she single-handedly dismantled the entire Zenin clan. The weapon's ability to build up both kinetic and cursed energies gives it superior force to most ordinary blades, making it one of the deadliest tools in existence. Megumi Fushiguro wielded the Black Blade, a sword with superior cutting power that he stored within his shadow. Nanami specifically noted that this blade blades surpassed Kasumi Miwa's katana in both cutting ability and resilience. During their battle, Megumi struck Nanami twice with impressive speed and accuracy, and he used it to easily tear through multiple heads of the Yasuhachi Bridge curse. Unfortunately, a finger-bearer destroyed the blade in Chapter 58, forcing Megumi to replace it with a double-edged sword. Yuji Itadori started with the Slaughter Demon, his first cursed tool courtesy of Gojo. This Grade 2 combat knife has a cloudy silver color from years of exorcising cursed spirits. The jagged blade is infused with cursed energy, letting it bypass a cursed spirit's natural resistance to physical damage. For someone like Yuji who initially couldn't manipulate cursed energy properly, it was the perfect introduction to curse fighting. Despite being relatively simple compared to higher-level weapons, it proved incredibly effective during his early missions. Nanami's Cleaver tells a different story. It gradually became a cursed tool through constant use. This blunt blade wrapped in cloth with black dot patterns like Nanami's tie doesn't have its own technique. Instead, it channels Nanami's 7:3 ratio technique, which divides targets within 10 lines and creates weak spots, with a 7:3 ratio for critical damage. Here's what's incredible. After Nanami's death, his curse technique became permanently imbued into the tool, making it a true cursed tool. During the Shinjuku battle, Takuma Ino wielded Nanami's blade and successfully used the ratio technique against Sukuna himself. The King of Curses was genuinely surprised by the hard blows, proving that Nanami's legacy lives on through his weapon. Nobara Kugasaki's tools work differently. Her hammer, nails, and straw doll function together with her resonance technique. While not as flashy as some weapons, they're perfectly suited to her fighting style and technique synergy. What's fascinating about this generation is how their tools reflect their growth. Maki evolved from needing glasses to see curses to wielding a masterwork blade that stores energy. Megumi went from a reliable black blade to constantly adapting his weapon choices. Yuji outgrew his simple knife as he developed his abilities, and Nanami's Cleaver became something greater after his sacrifice, allowing others to carry on his technique. These aren't just weapons, they're extensions of the user's development as sorcerers. The new generation learned that cursed tools aren't about raw power like Toji's arsenal. They're about finding the right tool that complements your abilities and grows with you. That philosophy led them to tools that enhanced their natural talents, rather than replacing them. The contrast with Toji is clear. He used overwhelming weapon mastery to compensate for his lack of cursed energy. The new generation uses tools to amplify what they already possess, creating synergies between technique and weapon that make them stronger than either element alone. Now we get to the weapons that reshape battlefields just by existing. Sukuna's Kamutoke, a Vajra-shaped cursed tool with a blade, generates massive electrostatic discharges like lightning strikes. During the Heian Era, Sukuna used this to exterminate elite sorcerers from the Fujiwara clan, calling down great showers of lightning that destroyed entire squads. In the Shinjuku Showdown, Sukuna used a replica created by Yorozu. The original's fate remains unclear. Against Hajime Kashimo and Meimei, it showcased devastating lightning attacks that destroyed huge chunks of ice and could summon lightning from the sky with just a gesture. Only Kashimo's natural electricity resistance let him survive, though he still took damage. Hiromi Higuruma's deadly sentencing permanently confiscated it, making it disappear from Sukuna's grasp forever. Sukuna also wielded Hiten, a Trishula-like trident that controls wind. Combined with Kamutoke, these special-grade tools created devastating storm attacks during the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery. The specific abilities remain largely unexplained, but its historical impact speaks volumes. Maharaga's Sword of Extermination represents pure lethality, a blade imbued with positive energy that's fatal to anything with cursed energy. The weapon radiates positive energy, proving instantly lethal to most cursed spirits on contact. When Maharaga struck Sukuna with it, the ground shattered, along with all surrounding glass, and Sukuna admitted he would have died instantly if he were a cursed spirit. Special-grade curses like Mahito, Jogo, and Hanami would be instantly killed by this blade. Miguel's black rope was woven by his clan over decades and could disrupt cursed techniques like the inverted spear, but with different trade-offs. It offered superior range, size, and versatility compared to Toji's spear, but burned away with each use until nothing remained. Miguel used it to nullify Gojo's infinity during the night parade, actually landing physical hits on Gojo, something most adversaries never achieve. Higuruma's Gavel transforms based on his domain's verdict. Normally versatile enough to become a mallet, scythe, hook, staff, or rope, it reaches true terror when his opponent receives a death sentence. Then it becomes the Executioner's Sword, a blade of pure light that guarantees death to anyone it cuts, even slightly. It's a one-hit kill weapon that turns domain battles into execution chambers. Kurorishi's Festering Life Sword shoots cursed insect eggs from barrel holes in its grotesque cleaver design. The eggs burrow into wounds, hatch, and swarm from injury sites, consuming targets from within. Created from Kurorishi's own flesh, it's too toxic for anyone else to wield. These tools don't just enhance combat, they define it. Each one forces opponents to completely change their strategy or face instant defeat.